The New England Revolution, 36 points, 9 wins, 16 losses, 9 draws. Caleb Porter is gone. Another guy that Christian's not going to be a huge fan of when coming from FC Cincinnati fandom, but he is gone. Marko Mitrovic has been brought in to see this team going forward. Their top goal scorer, who else could it be? Carlos Heel, scoring 10 goals last season, has always been an Iron Man for them. This is a team, they have always been great defensively, and they didn't struggle with that. Again, the problem was goal scoring. At times over the years, it feels like this team has Carlos Hill, and then, who else do they have? They brought in, Gustavo Bo found success there when he was there. But I just feel like this is a team full of a lot of question marks. And over the past couple of years, this is a team I used to say is an older team. I feel like they have been incorporating some youth. That's just personally how I feel. But, you want something to look forward to for New England. Let me go ahead and say they did announce this offseason. I think it was announced this offseason or last year, a new waterfront stadium being worked by the Kraft family, which I'm sure will be absolutely beautiful for New England. Christian, we're talking about a team finished 23rd in MLS as a whole, 13th in the Eastern Conference. What's your outlook for the Revolution heading into 2026?
Yeah, you hit it. I don't like Caleb Porter.
Well, he's gone now.
Marko Mitrovic comes in, only the club's 10th head coach. So they've been pretty steady.
They're going the Pittsburgh Steelers route is what they're doing.
But Mitrovic comes in off a run with the USA U20 World Cup team. I feel like they really failed to distribute a consistent offense last year. You touched on it. New England's kind of been implementing a little bit of youth. I know Noel Buck's no longer there, but just they've been pretty good at getting in some younger guys, which I expect again this year, especially with a guy like Brandon Bye off to Portland.
Yeah, and they've made some moves. I really like the acquisition of Brooklyn Reigns from Houston, which we're going to talk about Houston this episode as well. But you're getting a really good developmental player right there. Still only 20. He's actually an MLS under 22 player. I think he's 21. I think. Don't quote me on that, but you're getting youth with that. They also went out, brought in Griffin Yo, who is an American winger, 23 years old from KVC Westero. I can't. You know what team I'm talking about? I can't say that team name.
He came from Belgium.
Yeah, he came from Belgium, 18 goals, 10 assists. So you're bringing in a proven goal scorer at just 23 years old. They really went the American route this offseason. So I already talked about Brooklyn Reigns, Griffin Yo. They brought in Ethan Kohler, an American defender.
Griffin Yo, you might also remember he played a little bit with DC United as well for Belgium.
They brought in Ethan Kohler, 20-year-old American defender, signed from Werder Bremen. So do you see the trend that I'm saying? We're talking about a 21-year-old American, a 23-year-old American, a 20-year-old American. They also are looking for Christian Olivero to do more this season for the Revolution. And then the other big noticeable thing is Matt Turner. He does remain with the club, and he's I assume he's going to be their goal scorer, but they did, Bono just got traded, actually. Forgot. Yeah, he's going back to DC. We actually talked about that before the podcast started. So, yeah, it's going to be Matt Turner in goal. Also, with the World Cup coming up, this is going to be kind of a period for him to stay in shape, assuming he's going to be our starting goalkeeper. For the U.S.
Didn't Horvath make him, or he's making a move back to the MLS, or I guess to the MLS?
I think he is coming, because is that the battle that's probably going to happen?
I mean, there will be. I would expect Matt Turner to be in goal, but I'm sure there are other guys trying to throw their name in the pot. Another guy that I'd like to touch on, who I think could have decent expectations for this year, is Leonardo Campana. He really wants to make a showing for Ecuador in the World Cup this year.
Good shout out.
So he wants to kind of take that step this year as well. I have right here, clubs seem to be embracing youth meshed with experience, which is usually a good thing to do in MLS.
Talk about Campana coming from Inter Miami. Did he have a full season with the Revolution last year?
I don't know.
Yes. I think he dealt with some injuries. He played 24 games last season, started 20 of them, 7 goals, 1 assist. I mean, he's a solid player to have up front for the club.
Mm.
Some of the people who left, I'm just going to go through them really fast. Tomas Chakadle goes to Minnesota. Olger Escobar to Montreal. Wyatt Ohmsberg has retired. And then they had a loan expire of Ignatius Ganago for FC Nantes as he heads back there. So, I mean, you have relatively the same team. And like I said, this is a team, they have always found pride in their defense. And we know what Carlos Gil is going to do, Christian. I mean, this is a player. He is getting up there in age. I will say that. He's getting older year by year. You can't put so much on his shoulders, but we know he's going to be one of the most consistent. And I think one of the least talked about stars in the league. Like, he has always just been so good for them. It's about finding your attack, ever since you lost Gustavo Bo. And I think Leo Campana could be that person. Got to do a little better than 7 goals, and what we expect from him. But who are you going to go to score goals? I think this is another team. Last week it was all about teams struggling with defense. This is another team that was actually struggling on the other side of the ball with the offense and trying to get goals. And my key to success for them: give Gil some weapons and relieve some of the load thrown on him. It's exactly what I said. Yes, this guy is, in my opinion, a star in this league. He shows up every single season, does what he needs to do. But with how he's aging, you can't expect him to do everything anymore. And you need to put some pieces around him to really find success with this club.
Yeah, I mean, my X factors really start off with that exactly. And well, more so on the fact of, number one, can Carlos Gil return to that MVP caliber? Like, can he do it again this year? Really, he's the motor of the team. I don't think you could talk about New England without bringing up Carlos Gil. I think if he maintains that fitness and form he's had over the last few years, he's that catalyst for nearly every goal and every opportunity on this team. Number two is Griffin Yo's impact. I think he can be a key to unlock defenses and release some pressure off of Gil. Number three, probably the biggest impactor for New England in 2026 is the new head coach in Marko Mitrovic. It's his first full season. His ability to implement this system and get the best out of existing talent will be crucial.
All right. And to wrap up, Christian, this is a team who has always, I said they pride themselves on their defense. They also have found pride in their consistency. And for me personally, it's weird to see this team be towards the bottom of the Eastern Conference. I just expect them to be much like the Union. I feel like the Philadelphia Union every single season are competing for that supporter shield. Obviously winning it last season. And I always saw New England as that team that's going to be really, really good in the regular season. So it's weird seeing them take a step back. And I would love to see them get back to competing in the Eastern Conference in 2026.
I don't see them competing for a supporter shield, but I think that they've done enough to kind of relieve some pressure off of Gil to at least compete for a playoff spot.
I do think it's interesting. This is a team, like I said, I bring up all those young Americans. They are going the youthful route. They're bringing in these players who they hope develop, and I think their whole season's riding on which of these players do develop, do any of them, and finding some people who they can get either a good return if they sell to Europe, or finding good players to be consistent for them for multiple years. Let us know in the comments what you guys think about New England.